We often hear this term. Have you ever pondered on its real meaning? Is it important, or is not? Let's explore it together. Should we? Homeostasis and perfect health are often confused, but they represent distinct concepts. While homeostasis is a biological mechanism essential for survival, it is not a static state of perfection. The concept of homeostasis stands as the central organizing principle of modern physiology, yet its intellectual pedigree stretches back thousands of years. Understanding it requires navigating the transition from ancient philosophical intuition to rigorous, evidence-based systems analysis. The intellectual journey toward homeostasis began with the ancient Greek concept of the balance of opposites. Philosophers like Alcmaeon of Croton, circa 500 BC, argued that health resulted from an equilibrium of conflicting forces, hot and cold, wet and dry. This was later formalized by Hippocrates into the theory of four humors, which, while anatomically incorrect by modern standards, correctly intuited the existence of a vis medicatrix natura, a healing power of nature that constantly works to restore balance. The leap to modern science occurred in the 19th century with Claude Bernard. Bernard famously proposed the concept of the milieu intérieur, internal environment, observing that complex organisms, particularly mammals, live in a state of independence from their external environment because their cells exist within a buffered, fluid internal environment that remains constant despite external volatility. In 1926, Walter Bradford Cannon coined the term homeostasis, deriving it from the Greek homoios, similar, and stasis, standing still. Cannon's genius was in identifying that this constancy was not a passive state but a result of active, ongoing physiological efforts. Homeostasis is the process by which biological systems maintain stability while adjusting to conditions that are optimal for survival. It is not a static state, but rather a dynamic equilibrium, a constant balancing act. If homeostasis is the health of the organism, the cell is the primary site of its manifestation. At the cellular level, homeostasis is the result of the relentless management of the plasma membrane, which serves as the interface between the cell's specialized internal chemistry and the external environment. The cell manages its internal environment through two primary methods. Passive transport. Utilizing the kinetic energy of particles, substances move down a concentration gradient, diffusion, or through specialized protein channels, facilitated diffusion, without metabolic cost. This is how cells regulate essential molecules like oxygen and carbon dioxide. Active transport. When a cell must hoard or exclude substances against their concentration gradient, it utilizes active transport, which requires ATP, energy. The most prominent example is the sodium-potassium pump, which maintains the electrochemical gradient necessary for nerve impulse conduction and muscle contraction. Water balance, or osmosis, is the most fundamental of all homeostatic cellular requirements. By regulating the movement of water across the membrane in response to solute concentrations, the cell prevents lysis, bursting, or crenation, shriveling. Simultaneously, the cell meticulously manages ion concentrations, most notably calcium, sodium, and potassium. Because these ions act as critical signaling molecules for everything from gene expression to enzyme activity, their strict regulation is the gatekeeper of cellular function. Failure to maintain these gradients is a common precursor to systemic organ failure in multicellular organisms. The human body maintains homeostasis through feedback control systems. Stimulus. A change in the internal or external environment, e.g., rise in body temperature. Receptors. Sensors that detect the change, e.g., thermoreceptors in the skin. Control center. Processes the information and dictates a response, e.g., the hypothalamus in the brain. Effectors. Muscles or glands that execute the response, e.g., sweat glands. Response. The action taken to negate or amplify the change. What the body needs to achieve homeostasis. To maintain this delicate balance, the body requires specific inputs and conditions. Nutrient and energy supply. Regular intake of glucose, lipids, amino acids, vitamins, and minerals. Water balance. Strict regulation of fluid levels to maintain blood pressure and cellular integrity. Waste removal. Efficient excretion of metabolic byproducts, carbon dioxide, urea, via kidneys, lungs, and liver. pH stability. Maintaining blood pH within a narrow range, approximately 7.35 to 7.45, to prevent enzyme denaturation. Thermal regulation. Keeping the core body temperature near 37 Celsius or 99 Fahrenheit. Factors that disrupt homeostasis. Homeostasis is constantly challenged by stressors, which can be categorized as external factors. Environmental. Extreme temperatures, UV radiation, or pathogens, bacteria, viruses. Lifestyle. Poor diet, lack of sleep, substance use, or sedentary behavior. Internal factors. Genetic predispositions. Inherited traits affecting metabolic efficiency or organ function. Aging. Gradual decline in the responsiveness of physiological feedback loops. Psychological stress. Chronic activation of the fight or flight response, which redirects resources away from long-term maintenance systems. The consequences of homeostatic imbalance. When the body's compensatory mechanisms are overwhelmed or fail, the resulting state is pathophysiology, disease. Let's see how different body systems show their homeostatic failure, and what are clinical consequences. Endocrine. Insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes. Cardiovascular. Failure to regulate blood pressure, hypertension, stroke. Temperature. Failure of heat dissipation, heat stroke. Fluid, electrolyte. Dehydration or overhydration, organ failure, electrolyte shock, the cascade effect. One homeostatic failure rarely happens in isolation. Because the body is an interconnected network, a failure in one system, e.g., renal failure, inevitably disrupts others, e.g., pH imbalance and cardiovascular stress, leading to a systemic downward spiral. Homeostasis and perfect health are often confused, but they represent distinct concepts. While homeostasis is a biological mechanism essential for survival, it is not a static state of perfection. Homeostasis is a process, not a destination. Homeostasis is the dynamic, continuous work your body does to maintain stability. It is the intelligence behind your internal thermostat, constantly adjusting your heart rate, blood pressure, temperature, and chemistry to compensate for environmental changes or internal stress. Perfect health is an idealized concept. The idea of perfect health implies a static, unvarying state where nothing is ever out of balance. In reality, your body is rarely in a state of perfect stasis, it is constantly in flux. You can think of homeostasis as the foundation of health rather than health itself, functional stability. Homeostasis ensures you function correctly, allowing you to survive the thousands of small challenges you face every day. The threshold of disease. Disease is often defined as a failure of homeostatic regulation. When the body can no longer return to its necessary range of function, the result is illness. Beyond survival. While homeostasis keeps you alive and functional, optimal health usually involves elements beyond mere survival, such as physical vitality, metabolic flexibility, and psychological well-being, which are facilitated by, but not solely defined by, homeostatic balance. In essence, striving for perfect health as a state of unchanging stillness can be counterproductive, as it ignores your body's inherent, rhythmic, and adaptive nature. Homeostasis is the mechanism that allows you to be human. It is the evidence of your body's constant effort to care for you, regardless of whether you feel perfect. I hope this video got your attention, and it resonated with you and your approach to your wellness. Give me a thumb up as recognition for my work. So? Like it, share it and subscribe to my channel, if you didn't do it yet. Thank you for watching, and until next time.